What up, YouTube? It has come to my attention that there are a lot of people out there in the world who really like Korean culture. And one of the aspects of Korean culture is slang. But I noticed that a lot of people have been using either the wrong slang or slang that is way too old. So I thought that I would take the liberty of making a little presentation where I actually talk about some modern Korean slang that Koreans use right now. Let's start off with the basics. How would you say, oh, they are mad or I am mad? Well, first off, you would say, 너, this is the first character here, 너, 화났다. 너, 화났다. 너 화났다. Which means you are mad. Now you might be wondering, well, this isn't slang. This is just basic Korean language. And I'm like, to that I would say, you are correct. But remember, all slang comes from proper language usage. If you wanted to say, I am mad in Korean, you would just change no to na, because na means me in Korean. So instead of saying 너 화났다, you would say 나 화났다, which means I am mad. This is where the slang comes in, okay? Now, you can be upset. And maybe when you're with somebody and you are upset, you say, oh, I am mad. But when you are really upset, like beyond angry, right? Like somebody fucked your wife type of angry. You can't just say you're mad. You gotta say you're pissed off, right? Like you're really pissed off. So what would you say? And that's where your slang comes in, where you say king 받는다. king 받는다 is the explosive version of 화났다. It is really aggressive. So how would you say, oh, they're really pissed off? 너, like you, and you say 너 king 받는다, being like, oh, you are pissed off. So how would you say, I am pissed off? Well, remember in the last slide, we changed 너 to 나. You would say, 나 king 받는다. You gotta remember though, you only use this when you have to. Because as far as I know, this is one of the most aggressive ways to say you are angry. Just like in English, right? There are certain things in the English language where if you say it, there's no other way to understand it other than aggression. So for example, if two Americans are having a fight and it gets really big and then somebody's like, I'm going to fucking cut you, right? There's no other way to understand that than just pure aggression. That is what this is. And the only way you are ever gonna diffuse it is with laughter. Now you might be wondering, oh, how can I like diffuse such an angry situation with laughter? Well, in Korean culture, when two guys are fighting, usually one of them is going to be on the ground bleeding. Why? Because both of them are probably drunk and they're probably beating the ever-living shit out of each other. And then when one person beats the other person, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna laugh and be like, I'm better than you, I'm richer than you, yada yada, you know, K-drama stuff. You know what I mean? Now besides anger, there's something else. English, Korean, Japanese, doesn't matter what language you're talking in, doesn't matter who you're talking to. There will always be moments where somebody is yapping, somebody's saying something, and you just really could not care. What do you say? You say, I don't care. 어쩔 TV. It means whatever. So you literally could not care less. And again, same thing as the last one. This is aggressive. Because there are tons of different ways to say, oh, I don't care. And there is actually a way to say that softer in Korean, which is down here, saying ah mo at the very bottom. Ah mo. You know how in anime there's that one character that always shrugs their shoulders like this and they go ah, and they kind of like shrug it off. This is the Korean version of that, saying ah mo. So if your friend is talking about cheese but you don't want to hurt their feelings because you know they're really excited about it, you could just say ah mo. And that's a really good segue into talking about something else, being like, oh, Mo, hey, you want to go home and play some League of Legends? This is not proper Korean. Why? Because this is not how you would talk when you have to talk to somebody with higher authority than you. Personality types. This is something I get excited about. Not because I like it, but because it's very interesting. If horoscopes are the equivalent to typical white girls in America, personality types are the Korean horoscopes for basic Korean girls. Because one of the most common things you will hear when you talk with a Korean girl is this. No Tia, not Nokia, Tia. But what is a T-type? In case if you haven't taken the MBTI personality test, I think T is a certain quality that you have. One of the most common personality types out there is like INFJ or whatever. I personally have never taken a personality test from MBTI because I already knew my personality. It's not INFJ. Mine personally is BITCH. When somebody says no Tia, they are asking you, are you somebody who cannot sympathize? Are you somebody who is not emotional? They are essentially asking you if you are a super logical guy. Sheldon Cooper from the Big Bang Theory typological. Your best friend can be grieving in front of you because their mom died, and you will look at them dead in the face and say, well, I hope you stop crying soon because nobody's gonna plan this funeral. You gotta do it yourself, so might as well get to it. Chop chop. That is when somebody's gonna look at you and say, no Tia? You could also say this in situations where somebody you know is just completely out of pocket. Like, let's say out of touch. You ever have that one friend who's like socially slow? They're a good friend, but they're like socially slow. Like, they catch on after everybody else figured it out like 10 minutes ago. And there's nothing wrong with them. That's just how they are. And you might find it funny, not really. When you ask somebody, no Tia, it's usually asking out of the feeling that you are not being respectful. It's like you disrespected somebody and people cannot believe that you did that, so they need to verify that by asking you whether your personality type has a T in it. Because apparently T signifies that you are some very logical person or somebody who relies on logic a lot. You're not very emotional. Depending on what you say to this, when a Korean girl or Korean guy asks you, no Tia, this is probably going to determine whether or not they're going to be friends with you. Because it's the same thing for white girls in America with horoscopes, right? Like, everybody has heard the stories of white girls being like, oh my God, I can't date you or we can't be friends because you're an Aries and I'm a Pisces. This is something people say a lot. My cousin verified this. When you are with friends and you want to hype each other up, right? Like, your friend got into college or your friend got that job or, you know, got that promotion, right? You want to hype them up. You want to be a good friend, you know? So you want to be like, let's go, right? But how would you say that in Korean? Well, you say that by saying kiuk. Ki-uk. So when your friend walks up to you and they're like, yo, bro, I just got a raise at work, an extra 20K a year. And then if you are both Korean, you could just be like, hey, kiuk. It's like hype. You're hyping, like you're gassing them up. It's kind of like the Korean version of ikimasho in Japanese. Everybody knows what ikimasho means in Japanese. It means like, let's go, right? But it's in a very positive way. That is how you say ikimasho in Korean. Kyuk. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Let's go out and celebrate. Let's go out for drinks. Let's go out to party. Let's go out and just go do something fun, right? It looks so good. We've all had that moment where we see something and it's just beautiful. It's like eye candy to us, right? It's so delicious. It could be food, it could be something beautiful like the sky, or maybe it can be used to describe something that is just tasty. So in Korean slang, how would you say that? Chuperup, which is an expression that is used when to describe something that is very, very delicious. Typically, it is used for food. Because a lot of people nowadays, it's not just Koreans, a lot of people nowadays, they take pictures of their food before they eat it, so they can post it on Instagram, they can post it on Snapchat, and they can, feel cute, and they can, show off a bit, right? Now, as a Korean American, I have learned a slang back in the day called snack, right? I'm sure we've all heard of snack. Like, man, they look like a snack, right? And we're not talking about food. We're talking about something else. Which is why I say at the bottom right here, but can be used for other food, right? So in Korean slang, even though you typically want to say 추배르 when you are describing food, you could use it to describe other things. Maybe a very attractive person. Being like, man, they look delicious. At first, it is used for food. Cake, fries, pizza, burger, all that kind of good stuff, Everybody knows New Jeans, and New Jeans has that one song, it goes, oh my god, right? That really catchy song with that really cute dance. So when you want to say, oh my god, right? In Korean, 헐, it means oh my god. And this is still used primarily in texting. I don't hear a lot of Koreans actually say that anymore, but they will type it because it means oh my god. Tons of people across the world in their own language, they type OMG or like on god or oh my god, right? You can say when something cool happens. Your friend did a backflip, or your friend sent you a video of him doing a backflip. You say 헐, or your friend did a cool trick. You say 헐. Something shocking happened, so like a lightning struck somebody's house. You say 헐. Very flexible. Doki doki. Makes your heart skip a beat. Everybody knows K-pop and everybody knows Korean dramas, and what is something that you associate with those two things? Something very, very attractive, Attractive singers, actors, dancers, or a combination of all of them. Maybe do like a dramatic hair flip or turn around slowly, or maybe move close towards the camera and wink, right? It makes your heart skip a beat. We say 심쿵, which comes from the Korean word 심장. Shim is heart, but we replaced chang with kung. And do you know why? It's because kung in Korean is the sound that something makes when it hits the floor. Kung, kung, kung. Shim kung. Your heart skipped a beat because it dropped to the floor, baby. Because you saw somebody sexy online. Whenever that happens to you, guess what you can say? You don't say wow, because that's boring. You say 심쿵. Cheers to alcoholism. Korea is really good at making people want to drink alcohol. Everybody in the world knows soju, and everybody, as far as I know, loves soju, or they love to drink it, for better or for worse. So, let's say, for example, that a friend of yours just got off of work on Friday and they just had a bad day at work. How would you say to your friend in Korean that you wanted to get fucked up, but also wanted to have some chicken? 치맥. 치맥. 치 means chicken, and mek is half of mekju. Swap those bitches together, and now you have chicken and beer. Chicken and beer is basically your excuse to drink. You had a bad day? 치맥. Your wife left you? 치맥. Got divorced? 치맥. Some people in Korea probably drink more soju than they do water, because it's just that good and making you forget all your problems, at least for a couple hours. You know what I mean? Hot and sticky. When you think of hot and sticky, what do you think of? Not that. What you should be thinking about is very fun. 꿀잼. The first character, 꿀, means honey. That's how you say honey in Korean, 꿀. And the second one means fun. Swap those hoes together, and now you have hot, sticky, fun. Let's say you and your friend just won a League of Legends game together, and you guys are super happy because that was a really close game, You say, 꿀잼. That was a cool ass game, bro. That was a fun ass game. If you are in a relationship, Koreans love to take selfies. So how do you say selfie? Selfie is slang in English. So how would you say it in Korean? 셀카 means selfie. 셀 sounds a lot like self in English, right? It means self. And then the second part, 카, is like the first sound of camera. 셀카, first picture. And that's always going to be you. So you say 셀카. The general consensus when it comes to Korean words is the fact they will take two words and take half of each word and then slap it together. So that's why you have 셀카, that's why you have 꿀잼, that's why you have 치맥, that's why you have 심쿵. They're all derived from two separate Korean words, and then they slap them together to produce a new word that takes half of the time to say. This is a very basic understanding of Korean slang. There's a ton more that exists in Korea, just like in English. I hope this gave you a better understanding of what actual Korean slang is like. Thank you. I did this live on twitch.tv. If you want to see me do more of this stuff live, come check me out. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.